Welcome to the Mobile County Public Schools Athletics Show. My name is Brad Lowell, District Athletic Director for Mobile County Public Schools. Today's show, we're here with Coach Deric Scott from Vigor. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Coach Scott is the Athletic Director and Head Football Coach. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of from maybe from your playing days in high school and college, and then what kind of made you decide to get into coaching and where you've coached and kind of what has brought you to this point?
Okay, well, I'm originally from Monroe, Alabama. Played at Monroe County High School, graduated there. Signed an athletic scholarship to play football at the University of Southern Mississippi. Went down there and played for my entire career at Southern Miss, and had a really good run. Had a really good career as an outside linebacker, defensive end for the Golden Eagles, and I got to a point to where I was kind of, wanting to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to coach. Really, in actuality, my intentions were to coach college football.
Right.
And I had a GA position that I was waiting to come open, and that guy never found a job. So it's kind of like, I couldn't stay there forever, you know. So I had a high school coach that was here in this area, and he said, "Hey, man, come over here." And I was like, kind of wanting to stay in college, but
right.
And it came over here and got started at Alma Bryant down in Biola Battery, and kind of just the career just kind of took off from there. Met a guy there named Kerry Stevenson, who obviously got the head coaching job at Vigor.
That's right.
We were working together at Alma Bryant, and he brought me. I was the first person he hired when he got the job at Vigor. And kind of the rest is, I've been at Vigor in some form or fashion for about the last almost 15 years almost. But I stayed there for 5 years with him, and then I left and went to Foley for 8 years. And I came back in 2015 as the head coach at Vigor High School.
Well, it sounds like with your background, I know you played with some good teams at Southern Miss,
Very good.
and coaches, and of course Coach Stevenson, is a very, very well-known coach in this area for what the teams that he had at Vigor High School, but also now with the University of Alabama as being part of their program.
Totally.
And of course, you coached with Coach Watson at Foley, who's in the college ranks now.
Todd Watson, who's actually, his father was the principal at Alma Bryant when I got hired. So that's how we met, through that connection, through him and a couple more guys, Eric Collier and all them. So we was all working together. So I kind of made that connection through those guys, and it's been a blessing to me.
Well, and by you spending those, I think you said 5 years with Coach Stevenson at Vigor prior to you going to Foley, now getting the opportunity to be the head guy at Vigor, you kind of already knew a little bit about what Vigor was all about, and what you were stepping into, and the expectations at Vigor are always high, aren't they?
Totally. And I had obviously I had a background with Vigor. I tell my kids all the time, I spent most of my adult life at Vigor High School, you know, and I have, it's kind of ironic. I know their alma mater, I don't know my own at my own high school, so it's kind of, but I knew very well the tradition of Vigor High School and Vigor football in particular, and I was accustomed to it, and I've been indoctrinated into it. So it was a good fit for me. And I think a good fit for the school as well.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Vigor is a very close-knit community.
Very much so.
And I think it's very important that you had that background, knowing the people, the community, and the expectations of what they expect in that community. I mean, that's a winning tradition program that you walked into. Of course, over your 4 years, the kids that you took over as a freshman turned into pretty much a season that, you taught those kids, the expectations that you taught them, of what they were capable of doing, and making it all the way to that championship game, and really right there to the final minutes. Yeah. You were in there. Tell us a little bit about that season of this year and what it meant to you and to your kids and to the city of Pritchard.
Well, that season was one of the best seasons I've ever been a part of in coaching, and it's one of the most rewarding, both personally and professionally. I'm indebted to those young men for what they have given to Vigor High School first and foremost, and to me as a coach as well. Because when as well as you know, when you become a head coach, you have an idea of what you want to do, and then you get in there and you realize what you can do.
That's right.
And so they taught me a lot of lessons about how to motivate kids, how to handle kids, and what is necessary to motivate this generation of athletes. Because this is one of the most challenging times in my career for as athletes, motivation, consistent motivation, and consistent performance. There's so many distractions. So the game has changed tremendously. So this season was very rewarding from that standpoint of seeing those guys come in and 4 years ago as ninth graders and seeing them walk out of there. Well, not yet, but hopefully in the next couple of months, walk out of there as seniors and accomplishing those goals. And I told those guys, and it was not a cocky statement, it was a confident statement, because I recognized the talent that was in the room. I told them in 4 years we'll play for a state championship, and we accomplished that goal. Now our goal has to be to win a state championship. Right. So the words you speak has a lot to do with what your and what you manifest. So
sure.
So I told them, I said, well, guys, I told you we'd do this.
That's right.
We played for it, but now the goal has got to be to go win it.
Right.
And we had an opportunity. We had a bunch of opportunities. Leading up to the game, it was amazing.
Right.
The support from the community, the support from the city of Mobile and the city of Pritchard, the alumni, fans, and the general bystander as well was tremendous. And we're thankful for it. We're appreciative of it. And we need it coming. We need more of that in the future, because it takes resources to obviously get to those levels and to stay there consistently. And that's where our next focus is going to be, on developing resources for our guys. So the state championship game was an awesome experience for our young men, to get the opportunity to go to Auburn, play in that stadium, play on that stage, and put their talents on display for the state of Alabama. Obviously, we came up a point short, and we were disheartened by that. But the opportunity and what we accomplished, we didn't want to diminish that either.
Yeah, and you have to look at, obviously at that moment, at that night, the disappointment was there for not winning it all. But in the end, it's one of the most successful seasons that the school has had, that you have had. Those kids experienced what they were able to accomplish and the goals that they were able to meet, to actually making it to that game. I mean, you have to look back and just say, you know what, that was a culmination of 4 years of really working hard and believing in what they can do. And like you mentioned, what people I don't think understand is how important the community is to reaching that level of competition, a state championship level. It does take an entire buy-in from the community, correct?
Totally. First and foremost, our administration at Vigor High School, from Principal Gerald Cunningham to all our assistant principals and teachers and staff, custodial staff, cafeteria staff who feeds us. So it's a buy-in from every single person that's in that building to help us get to this point. And that's what I don't think a lot of people understand. It's a school-wide effort when you see success or see things that, like this past season, in any school and in any place, there is a buy-in from everyone in the building, and it's a general attitude of teamwork.
Right.
And that's what's necessary for the opportunity for success, because as well as I do, just because you have buy-in and you have support does not equal success.
Right.
So it's a healthy mixture of talent. It's a healthy mixture of school climate and support from your administration and staff, as well as having a really good coaching staff in place as well. So I think it's threefold. You got to have talented young men, obviously. You got to have a quality coaching staff, and you got to have support in the building.
That's right, and all those factors have to culminate together and work as one in order to achieve what the goal is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Coach, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back here with Coach Scott and talk more about Vigor High School and what they have here in the upcoming future.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
Do you have what it takes to be an Envision graduate? We are pioneering students to be all they can be, from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade.
I definitely would recommend Envision to other students who feel the way I feel. They really work with you, and they've gotten tutors, and you have online teachers to talk to.
It starts right here. It starts right now. Envision Virtual Academy. Enroll today.
In Mobile County Public Schools, we are redefining ready. We are graduating college ready, career ready, and life ready. We are more than just a test score. We are earning college credit while in high school. We are working internships to get real-world experience. We are welders. We are certified nursing assistants. We are redefining ready.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're back with Coach Scott. Coach, we ended on just talking a little bit about some of the factors that plays into building a successful program. I guess the question is now, what do you do at this point when probably most of your leaders will be moving on? You had a good number of kids on signing day get opportunities at the next level. As a coach, with a lot of shoes to fill for next year, the expectations are still going to be there. So what do you have to do at this point to try to bring everything back together and pretty much build a new team with chemistry?
Right. And that's the difficult task. That's the part that no one seems to take into account for that really shapes a program and shapes a team. And now we're back, I won't say back to, but we're at a point in our development as a program where we have to be able to reload. And you can't have those up and down cycles, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And we have some young guys that are capable, we feel capable of playing well, so it's time for them to step up. We have a philosophy we always talk about, with our guys that, it's your opportunity to uphold the green and white. So it's your turn. We've had really good players to move on every year. Never to this degree that we had with this class. We're going to have, like I said, we had a really good signing day. We had 10 guys that signed on signing day.
Right.
And
That's
we'll probably,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you much. And we'll probably have 2 or 3 more guys to sign in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, Lord willing. So it is a historic deal for us, to get that many in this day and age, in this climate of, academics and athletics, in this climate, to get that many kids signed. So,
well, you look at too, the NCAA constantly makes it a little harder on the requirements, but also at the same time, kids these days have so many more distractions to keep them away. So the requirements are getting tougher, But along with, there's more distractions to deal with.
There's
You know,
more.
how do you keep that focus?
It's very tough. Very tough. It's the most challenging part of our job in this day and age, in my opinion, is hitting that moving target. Because it's definitely a moving target now. We're getting a kid, eligible to play in at the next level, on any level. I'm not talking Division I, I'm just talking about next level.
That's right.
It's becoming a moving target. It's constantly changing. It's a fluid deal. It's not static at all. And we've experienced some pitfalls in that process as well, because we're learning every year, like, hey, this is where the new pitfall is. This is where the new drawbacks are. So you have to be really on top of what's going on to get a guy eligible to play at the next level. You got to be consistent with it. It's a team effort. We have an academic counselor, athletic counselor, Miss Ebony McDowell. She's doing a really outstanding job for us in that department, and Coach Kendall Goodwin, who's over our recruiting coordinator. He does a lot of great work in that area. Those two and myself, we really put a lot of time into figuring it out and trying to hit that target. And it's tough.
Yeah.
With the distractions in this day and age, with so much social media, so much emphasis placed on the social side, we have to really get our guys to focus in on the academic side.
Well, and social media has just completely revamped sports.
Totally.
It can be good, but it can be bad.
Totally.
And when we played, it really wasn't there.
No, it was non-existent.
It was just, you went out there and you played, and it's just, and now having that access, and I'm glad you brought up social media, because, kids a lot of times don't understand something that they put on there can come back on them years later and keep them from maybe getting a scholarship just on something that they posted. So, for you and your guys, do you talk to them about that, about what they put out there? Because it's so easy for a teenager to get upset or mad to throw something out there on social media, but once it goes, it's there.
We have this conversation once a week at least, and if I really was true to it, we'd probably have it every day. But that is a main focus of our time and our attention on, is just proper etiquette in life, as well as treating social media just like it's life. Social media has a mind, has a reach all its own.
That's right.
And it reaches and touches everyone. And so we're constantly on those guys about how they handle themselves on social media, how they portray themselves, number one, the school, number two, and the program, number three.
That's right.
So, their family and how they portray their family is most important. So we really try to preach that to them, that, hey, you need to handle yourself in a class way. But obviously some listen and some don't sometimes. And then when like I tell them, if it comes to me and it gets to me, I'm gonna have to deal with it then.
That's right.
And you're not gonna like the way I deal with it. But for, and then moving over into your other part of social media and athletics and how it's changed the game of athletics. Now what you see now is things that some kids now, in our day, it was a magazine you had to be put in, and
Or a
newspaper, and somebody had to actually go buy the newspaper or magazine
That's right.
for you to get any type of recognition for what you were able to do athletically. Now, only thing you gotta do is,
Now they're posting highlights every week.
they're posting it on some type of social media, and whoever's following you watches it instantly. So now you go from being maybe a local, athlete. Now you become a regional athlete, and with social media, you become national.
Right.
And there's people that know about kids all over the nation now, and so it has its benefits and it has its drawbacks.
That's
so
right.
Everything become, in my opinion, everything become national attention now. You can get nationally known for your exploits, but it can be both positive and negative.
Right. Well, Coach, we're going to go to break, and then we'll be back with our last segment.
The more parents are involved in school, the more likely it is a child will succeed. Children with involved parents and attend school regularly make better grades and have better social skills. Every involved parent makes a difference.
Get involved.
Ask about your child's day.
Explain how your education matters. Parent involvement, it matters.
You can find more information on parent involvement at MCPSS.com.
I'm Mac McElroy and I'm a junior here at Vigor High School. My future plans after I graduate high school are to go to Auburn University and get a mechanical engineering degree. And taking the AP courses could help me get credits to decrease the amount of time I had to be in college. Vigor High School has prepared me for college, career, and life readiness by allowing me to participate in these clubs and classes that I'm taking now.
It's a fact. Bullying happens. Bullying can lead to serious physical and emotional pain. But there are some things you can do to prevent or stop it. Stand up for the person who's being bullied. Let the bully know that it's not cool to pick on others. Take action by reporting the bully to a teacher or principal. In the end, when you help someone who's being bullied, you are also helping yourself.
All right, welcome back to our show, our last segment with Coach Scott. Coach, coming off of this year and talking a little bit about the different variations of things that you have to do, as a coach these days, you're a father figure, you're a mentor, a lot of times you feed these kids, you give them a place to be where they're comfortable, where they're safe. Tell us a little bit about a coach in general. This day and time, it's changed. And you're a counselor just as you are, most importantly, as a coach.
Very much so. We was actually having a discussion. I was saying that I think that all coaches should take psychology as a part of your degree and all that, because it's really about caring for kids. Mm-hmm. If you don't care for kids and truly have a love for young people, this job will wear you out, because it's so demanding nowadays. Mm-hmm. It's 24/7, it's 365. And one thing I talk with our guys about all the time is this is not a 4-year deal for me. This is a 40, 50-year deal for me.
Right.
I'm always your coach, and that's what I tell them. And speaking to that mentor role, that's what I ascribe to, especially with our young men. I never want to diminish the fact that these guys, or diminish the fact that these guys know who their father is. A lot of our guys, especially in the African American community, I made this statement before. Especially in the African American community, I think there's a miscommunication there, a misconception that African American males, young African American males, don't know who their father is. They do.
That's right.
They just don't have a great relationship sometimes with them.
Right.
That's the issue.
And that's a good word that you put, relationships, because kids, and it's a fine line, because you have to be a disciplinarian, but at the same time be somebody that they can come to and talk to and know that you genuinely care about them.
Totally, 100%. And so that's where I tell them, I'm here to be whatever you need to be to get to the finish line or get to your goal. And that could be a mentor if you don't.
But you might not like what I say.
Absolutely.
Right.
That could be a mentor. It can be strictly as a coach-player relationship. It could be, and if you don't have a man in your life, I will be there for you if that's what you need. But I don't want to just come in and demand to be in a father figure role in a young man's life when they know that I know my father.
That's right.
So I try to be a guy that, that's there for them. And what is our coaching staff? We have a bunch of coaches that do a really good job of that. They're there for our young men day and night. They breathe life into them, they breathe energy into them, but also now, that's not mean we're taking it easy on them. We're pushing them to a high level.
That's right.
We're holding them to a standard. And you'll see us, we'll get on their tail now, and we're getting on it from a source of love, never from anything else.
And I tell you, they may not admit it a lot of times, but kids want that.
Oh yeah, and it's, they want people that care.
That's right.
They want people that know what they're doing, number one. They want people that care, and they want people that they can have a relationship with.
That's
not
right.
people that wants to get something from you. This relationship as a coach player has to be give. It can't be take.
That's right.
The coach has to give and the player has to give.
And that's what you're talking about. That's when you're going to really see results, in my opinion, with a true team, when you have that type of relationship and buy-in from the players that do believe in the coaching staff.
Totally. I tell them we lift weights just like everybody else. Everybody's lifting weights, but we generally, the players run the weight room.
That's right.
The players run the locker room. I tell them, if we got to police the weight room and police the locker room, we're not going to be really good.
Right.
Because I can't see everything. There's no way I can see everything that happened, everything that's said, everything that's done with 80 guys at all times. There's no way. There's no coach that can see that. But if you have the right culture in place, you have the right mentality in place, it can alleviate some of that stuff before it ever gets to you.
And what's the old saying? It's not about what you do when I'm watching you. It's about what you do when I'm not watching.
Yes, totally. And that's the degree of where we're trying to build at Vigor, that it's a sense of personal accountability and self-motivation. No one's gonna make you work to be the player you want to be. You have to get your tail up and you have to put forth some effort on your own as well.
That's right.
We're here to help guide you. We'll do everything we can to help guide you and put you in the best position to excel. But it's got to be a self buy-in.
That's right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming in today and talking with us, and that's a lot of good information I think that a lot of young coaches today can use and understand. But first and foremost, I want to congratulate you on an outstanding season. I mean, a historical season.
Thank you.
And I know you're ready and eager to get back on the field and see what you got for the upcoming year and for spring, which will be right around the corner.
Totally.
But congratulations again, and good luck to you here in the near future.
Thank you much.
All right, that concludes our show. Appreciate Coach Scott for coming on, and we'll be back next week.